setup. Let's turn the audio off on this. I need to not you. Go to channel. My channel. Not upcoming. Oh, there it is. Oh, come now. Homegirl? Oh, it's like something is wrong. It's halfway in there. Oh, is it? No? It slid right out. Goodness. 什么事情啊? Okay. Oh, and now it's sliding off the table. 갑자기? Let's see. I need to plug my laptop in. Oh. Okay. Let's see. I'm gonna drop this. Push you back some more. Push you over. Cool. We have that. Actually, I found my scrap bag, so I should go get that. The scrap bag in question. So I can take the stuff from yesterday and put it in there. Whenever I don't have my scrap bag, I usually just store it with the needles, since needles don't take up that much space. My container's that large is because needles are hard to find and easy to lose. Okay, first things first, this. And then I need my headphones to be plugged in so I can hear without sound moving. And then next up, I think I'll listen to a playlist. What is show keyboard? Cool, cool. I don't hear anything. Oh, it's not playing. Oh, hello, artist. Yeah, I'm gonna be weaving in the ends for this. This is the happiness comic. I'm doing my setup right now. I can't see the phone, so I have to stream it on my laptop. And the laptop has a feedback whenever everything's just out, so I have to plug in my headphones and all that. You can't see it now because it's the front side, but on the back, this is what I'm working on. I can get started now, but I'm probably going to stop again soon because I'm boiling water for some tea. I think I'll probably get done with the lettuce today, and maybe I can get started on doing or loom knitting for the flaps so I can present it. Oh, now that I think about it, the kettle has been on for a while. Oh, company. Okay. One of my eyes barely works, so I had to switch to another one. This is called weaving in ends. You do this to clean up your project, and also the yarn that I use to make this is super, how do you say this, like, I wouldn't say trash, but like, it's cheap, and it frays a lot quite easily, like you can see. So it's in my best interest to weave in these ends so they don't unravel and create a real big mess. And also, what's it called? It makes it look cleaner. I mean, the cleanest way to finish off this project would probably be like sewing on a backing, but I don't have fabric, so this is gonna have to suffice. If someone bought it, maybe I'd put a backing on it. I wonder if the comments are in, what's it called? A lag too, because from the stream that I'm like watching right now as I stream, it's lagging. Goodness, my veins are popping. I think, what is it called? I don't know. I lost my train of thought. Only downside to this is that there's no ASMR. Unless, you know, me yanking on the yarn needle is giving some sound. But I don't think it is. How do you take your tea? With milk and sugar? Plain? I don't know if they say taking your tea black, but I guess if you're drinking black tea, maybe. Of course, this also needs to be lint rolled, possibly burned, but I don't have a lighter. Interesting. This is too close to the edge. Whatever shall I do? Interesting. What is this? Oh, okay. Like, I'll be doing something and forget what I'm doing. This should be the last white pieces of yarn that needs to be woven in. These little... I'm using scrap yarn to... This whole project used scrap yarn, technically. Only colors that weren't scrap, really. Is this yellow? If you see the... Well, the black isn't a scrap roll, but it's discarded from projects I've worked on before, if that makes sense. Is this too short? I can hear the kettle. It's a whistling kettle, so if you're wearing headphones, protect your ears. Alt. Not be missing the other piece. Unfortunately, this stitch curls so much. This is like a simple E-wrap. I wanted this stitch because it's the fastest. For me, anyway. I guess C-wrap might be faster, but I don't like the look of C-wrap as much. Unfortunately, since this is not done in the round, the stitches come out twisted. But I think that's kind of funny, this piece being named Happiness Comic with twisted stitches. Twisted happiness, if you will. There's so much floof. It doesn't look like anything when you're just looking at it, and then you start taking it off, and it's substantial. Oh, there goes the kettle. I'm having double spiced chai. It's not bad, but I think I like the regular chai that I get better. I'm gonna let it steep for a few minutes. And you will not see me drinking it, at least not for the next half hour. I like cold drinks, and I had to boil water to make it since I was too lazy to make cold brew like I usually do. Not the pea having 4 strings. I guess that's pretty standard. Ooh. This thing is tight. Maybe after I get done with the next string, I'll take the tea bags out. I take my tea with milk and sugar. Not always, but sometimes. Most times, if I'm being honest, most times. I'm a fiend for sugar. In the original design, the peas had plus signs as their, this is mad funny because I actually had to learn the anatomy of typography, and I #forgot, but the I think that's actually the name of it, like the official name of it. The I of the P was supposed to be plus signs, and then I realized that my design, while good, did not account for the lack of yarn that I had. Like the red, when I say this red is scrap yarn, that's the reason why there's so many pieces. Like this small amount of yarn is what I have. This is how much red yarn I have left of the same color. And I couldn't get another roll in the same dye lot. Okay. Take the bags out. Ooh, work room. She's hot. Now to let her cool. Actually, I'll put some sugar in it now. I'm gonna put you in. Stir time. We're gonna use a chopstick. Now I need to wait to for it to cool down enough to put in the freezer. I used a I used a glass jar, so I don't want it to shatter. This does not want to cooperate. I'm never certain how much of my background can be picked up. And I don't exactly watch these videos back. There's another Chrome update. Relaunch the update. Okay. Not that you can really see it, but I'm trying to see if my, what is this? Make sure that these don't show up on the top side, because that does happen sometimes. This is conveniently already really covered up with the duplicate stitch and the slip knit stitch that it shouldn't, but it doesn't hurt to check. Bloody. There we go. This is not the best way to weave end ends, but most of the stuff that I would weave it into is covered up by the duplicate stitch and the slip knit. Slip knit is done with a crochet hook, and duplicate stitch is done with a yarn needle. Duplicate stitch is called duplicate stitch because it's supposed to cover the stitch you're working on and like look like the stitch that you're working on. I don't know if this, there probably is duplicate stitch for other stitches, but I think this probably works best with purl and knit, and I used it on E-wrap. E-wrap is not too bad, but since this is a twisted knit, because it's a flat panel piece, it's obviously different than the stitch I'm putting it on top of. Tomfoolery on my part. I think this is already knit in or woven in some, so. This definitely is. I don't know where it came from, but it is. I think I got annoyed in the middle of this because the other pieces of yarn were getting in the way. So I wove some of the ends in so they would stop getting in the crosshairs of me trying to do the other letters. I don't know why I did that. I know the string is too short. How much you weave the end in really depends on how much you think the string needs to be woven in so it doesn't unravel in the future. Oh, or even if it does unravel, it won't pop back out in the process. Three strings left. YouTube's algorithm is trash when it comes to shuffling. It just makes a loop of like 20 songs and thinks you're not gonna notice. not me running into the phone. I'm gonna hit my head on it. You can break the loop by clicking on a song that's not in the loop, but still, it's annoying. The string is frayed. The lighting is great today. Ooh. Gotta love natural lighting. My table creaks so much. Okay, I think I need to do a wrist stretch. I didn't even think I was working my wrist that hard. Loom knitting's usually rougher. I found the wrist stretch on Pinterest. It was a link to somebody's article. It's used for people who crochet, but it works for me. Yesterday, I was under the impression that this is maybe a 30-second lag, but looking back, this is giving 60-second. I wonder how annoying that'd be. You wrote a comment, you're waiting for a response, and it's like, are they ignoring me? I don't know where my compression gloves are, so this is gonna have to work. My tea is a nice brown color. I'm still not gonna drink it yet, though. There's just so little. I could probably go over here. Oh. There's 3. One of my other lives, you can see that this whole section where the text was black, and I did a duplicate stitch over it, but the white I was putting on top of it was not dense enough to cover up the black behind it, so it had this odd grayish color. And I considered just leaving it as it is, as it was. And then I was like, so I had to frog those top layers and put the project back on the loom. I did not frog the whole thing because who has time for that? And redid the section with white completely. part of the reason why I just did the black block is because, like I said, I used scrap yarn to make this project. So the white and the red are in dire supply, and I don't know if I have enough white still to make the flap. If I don't have enough white, I do technically have another project that I could frog to use for parts, essentially, but I don't want to do that because it's part of my stitch swatch collection TM, so I'd like to leave it as it is. And honestly, the top part is the only one that needs a flap in order to be like hung up to be viewed. But since the stitches curl so much, I need something to weigh down the bottom. So we shall see. In theory, I could put black at the bottom, but I feel like it'd be odd and out of place. On to the day. I wonder, do lives count towards video stuff when you're trying to become a YouTube creator? I have no idea. I'll have to Google it later. Run into the camera again. Doing this project makes me interested, low-key, in doing a font project, like kind of like the assignments they make you do in college, the font history. Ooh. I think the quality of this is so much better than it was yesterday. And I can't tell if that's because the lighting is better. I don't feel like the lighting was bad yesterday. I think I'll actually have to take the phone off of this tripod in order to show the loom knitting. I'll see what it looks like from a top view, but I don't think it's gonna do much. Oh. They're all concentrated on one side. Yeah, I hope I can get this done in time for the booth I'll be at in Arts in Central Park. I don't think anybody's dropping $3,000 at a vendor anyway. I don't even think you can you make a charge on your credit card for that much? Or debit card? I don't think I feel like my bank would definitely flag it. Be like, you've lost your mind? You don't even have that much money in the bank? If you watch my shorts about this project, you'll know it's called the Loom Knit Project Full of Hubris. And the hubris was that I had a very short amount of time to get this done, from ideation to completion, because I wanted to enter it into a fiber art contest that I won't know the results of until September 30th, and I managed it, just barely, by the skin of my teeth, to get it in a position to be photographable. Photographable? That's a word. To send in for the competition. It wasn't the only piece I entered, but this is brand new. The other one I finished months ago. I think there's like a national or an international competition for fiber arts that I didn't enter for because the work that I want to enter it into, the other one that isn't this one, was at a gallery in Springfield, Illinois. And I was like, what if someone buys it and then I put it into a show? So I didn't enter it. I should have entered it. $15,000 is a lot to drop on a tapestry. And if they didn't want to use it as a tapestry and they want to use it as a blanket, it's a lot of money to drop on a blanket. There's also the slight issue of I use different brands of yarn, so they have different tensions. Like once they relaxed, and I've taken my hands off, and it's been hanging up, or it was hanging up. It's currently just sitting in a box, and one part drapes down further than the other part. So I was thinking that I need to get one of my dowel rods to hopefully level out how the piece is draping, but that requires me putting it up on the wall, and I'm a short person. And the piece is like a foot taller than me. This is not a joke. Now they're not showing on screen. If you don't tell me, I won't know. Even if I'm streaming, I have to be looking to see. Oh, she's fallen out. Oh, she's stuck there. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this leftover scraps. Get a fiber brush or something and use it as stuffing maybe. I've got a long bloody line of projects. So I'm gonna finish this string and check on my tea. The sun's made my skin look all washed out. I made a cube once, and it was crispy enough, but I wanted it to be crispier. So I think I need to do it again. But that's gonna be at the bottom of the list of things to get done. I have a book to write. And no, I don't have a book deal. I'm just that delusional. Check the tea time. Okay, she's cool. Not that cool. I think I'm gonna have to wait an hour before I put it in the freezer. Finally, the last letter. I technically could end here, but I want to see what it looks like. The loom knitting. So I think I'll do the cast on row at least and move on for the day. Goodness. Did it relax that much in a day? Okay, I guess the way that I did it was kind of trash. Let's see. Can only do so much. I think with crochet it doesn't relax, but I definitely feel like it does relax with loom knit. Maybe that's just because it's a derivative of knitting. There it goes again. If you don't tell me it's out of the frame, I shall not know. Chua. I don't know why I thought it was a good idea to end these things in the same place. It's like I love to torture myself. Oh. Maybe I should get a piece of paper. Oh no, a piece of paper might get in the way. It'll definitely move. I don't know. I don't have, at least I don't think I have any painter's tape. Yeah, I don't know what it is about today's lighting that was different about yesterday's lighting, but it looks good. Very crispy. Oh, she's stuck. I'm also on Pinterest, albeit currently I'm posting stuff for the gallery. At underscore MTE, or just MTE. I can't remember. I think actually YouTube's underscore MTE. Pinterest is just MTE. And while it may be a business account, I don't pay for ads. It's a business account so I can have the cool analytical data. I'm just gonna move it over here. I don't know if Pinterest does verification, but I have the like Pinterest logo by my name. So I was like, oh, I'm official. How cool. Okay. Question. Everything else that you see is just little fluff that I didn't think I needed to cut closer, because the closer you cut to the end, the more likely it is to kind of pull out and go to the next thing, depending on how good or bad your woven ends are. And here is the front. Didn't realize this edge isn't that good, but I'll live. Time to go get the loom. I'm gonna turn it to see if I can get a full view. I can probably pull it up a little bit more too. Ooh. This lag is really killing me. Cool. You can see more. And this is my signature. Yes, my, I don't know if I say moniker. Artist name TM is MTE, but this is WH. It stands for my Chinese name, the literal definition of it, which is warm-hearted. It's actually Xinjin Lang. And we're gonna put this off to the side now, since she is all woven in. The loom. need to look at my settings to check on how I can fix this lag, because this is kind of ridiculous. I use rubber bands to keep myself in focus. So I think this is like 53 pegs that I used for this project. There's 198 total. And I'm gonna do a cast on row. Oh. So I'm taking all of the scrap yarn left over I have from the white. This is all. I think I'm gonna do this strand by strand. I might be here a little bit longer than I thought. I need to do a tapestry knot to join these, because these are all just like little string pieces. Part of that is me cutting the yarn for like cross stitch and then ending up not using it. But I don't want to stop so often to, what is it called? Join the yarns together. So if I do it all at once, like something this small, probably not going to use. This, while it's still small, I can use. I'm calling it. I think this is too small. It's not even giving 12 inches. While loom knitting does not use up as much yarn as crochet, it definitely still does use up yarn. This is already joined together, but it's not joined in the tapestry joining way. Ooh. Another join. Another join. I think I did start working on the flap and then I stopped to work on weaving in the ends. You see, I don't think you can do that with the actual tapestry join. I'm gonna need to go on Pinterest or watch a YouTube video to watch how to join it correctly, because I don't know. Usually I just knot them together, but since I'm using this all as one block, and it's not like I'm doing an intarsia method for something, I need to knot it together as if it's like one big ball of yarn. Back into the scrap bag. I was going to Lumnit, but I think joining these together will be the end of this video. Oh, another short piece. This is short. I think I'm gonna drop this too. Super short. I think I was just scrounging for anything in the color. Oh, is this another short one? No. I feel I need to sneeze. So much dust gets kicked up with these things. If I weren't already hot from wearing these headphones, I would be, what's it called? Wearing a mask, yes, to prevent from the sneezy thing. It's giving more and more. Oh, another super short piece. I was certainly just scrounging. Because at first I didn't think I had enough white yarn to finish it, and I was going to use the eggshell color. And the eggshell color isn't bad, but it wasn't the color that I wanted to use. Okay, all these pieces are long enough. Time to Google. I know my laptop is fighting for its life. Okay, seamless joining of yarn to the tapestry. Now it's just showing me the magic knot. What's it called? Like how to start a tapestry. So it doesn't really matter what piece goes first. I have like 3 YouTube things open. Okay. I don't know if you can see this. Hopefully you can. So here's how they have it in the video. Okay. This side they take and they loop like this. Okay, they pull this through. Pull this through, then you go underneath, or you go over. Then you go under this. Oh. Okay, so I have this in the wrong they have theirs this way. Go through. This is part of the reason why I need the string to be longer. Go under. Theirs is easier because they're using two different colors. Okay, and they pull it through here. Okay, and they pull on both sides. Oh, crispy. And look at how much you need. Now what? Do they cut the ends? They do. I see. Hopefully it doesn't show. I feel like I'm the type of person who would accidentally cut the wrong ends. Sure. And these will go in the discard. I could not do this with those short pieces. And now that that's done, I just need to watch this a whole bunch of times to do it again. Oh, here's the end of that string. Next string. I think I might cut this one out because it did use quite a bit of yarn. This one is slightly better. I'll probably cut this off anyway, so I'll just use this. Back to the video. I'm gonna watch it again. Loop. Under. Hoy. Here. Oh, it works, but I'm gonna have to be a little bit more conservative with the yarn. Oh. How small can I make this? Oi. It's gonna use up yarn, but it doesn't need to use up that much yarn. Pull through here. Go above. Go under. Pull through at the very top. And boom. This is much more reasonable. Okay. I've seen some people cut right up to the edge and I'm just not comfortable with that. Okay. Roll up the yarn time. Next string. I think I've got the gist of this. If you're wondering whose YouTube video I watched, we are knitters. Like English, but just the first 3 letters. Knitting tutorial, how to join yarn with an invisible magic knot. WAK. They're pretty big accounts. They uploaded this 7 years ago. It's a good video though. We're gonna do this smaller and smaller. Oh. Yeah. The way that I do Intarsia, this would never work. There's a way to join it. Probably because I join it. Well, it's not an end like this. It's like already attached to the limb, so I can't do that, if that makes sense. Down, up. Oh, it's harder to do it this way. Low key makes me want to put it on a yarn needle. And then again, like I said, this yarn is a cheap yarn, so it frays like nobody's business. Oh. Go on. Are we good? Yep. This is gonna be closer to 2 hours than 1. Yeah, I think I'll put the other ends in here. I don't need to do that. They're too short for that. Should go in the discard pile. These are really short ones I might be able to do something with. Maybe not loom knitting, but something else, like cross stitch or detail. Next end. Okay, I was like concerned that this is short. I was concerned for a little bit about, oh, like, will I have content to live stream every day? But I do. Totally forget about my huge cross stitch project that, what's it called? I never finished. I started it in college, or yeah, I started it in college. But now I have more free time. I'm not taking classes, so I can work on it. It's huge. It's like the other tapestry. It's 6 feet. And then, oh, I must have done this wrong. Over, under, perhaps that's it. This needs to be like this. At least you know when you do something wrong. You can quite easily see it. Okay, this is right. Yeah, this one's right. But yeah, it'd just be me cross-stitching. That's gonna be a lot less, or I suppose I should say it's gonna be more monotonous in that I can work on it for hours, 5 hours plus, and one section still might not be done. photos of it, but I don't think I'll be able to put it up on the wall. I mean, I could, but I use command strips to put it up on the wall, and command strips are expensive. And I bought them on sale, and I still spent like hundreds of dollars. And also, I'd want to save it for if I actually get it put up in a gallery somewhere, so I can send it with the command strips to put it up. There's also, I could assemble it on the floor. I don't have, there you go. I don't have, what is it called? I don't have felt right now, so that's another problem. Ooh. It's good. I'm sure someone's made an infographic of how to do the magic knot. But I think I might make my own to reference so I don't have to open up another YouTube tab. I'm sure my internet is fighting for its life. At least it's not taking that long. It could certainly take longer. And I'm glad I picked it up quick. It's already going to be a test of patience to do this for, I won't say there's like 100 strings, but like 20, 30 maybe. Oh, well, humbled. Yeah, something's not right. Back to the video. Is it over or under? Go through. Okay. Okay, it's good. I don't know, maybe I wasn't playing it tight enough. I don't think it's that different from what I was already doing. Who knows? Maybe I'll animate this. And by animate, I mean draw every panel and put it together in iMovie because I don't know how to animate. The great wonders of being crafty is that you have the audacity to say, how hard can it be? And go learn it. This goes under, over, or through rather, over, under. Speaking of, I saw someone make their own altar using cardboard. Oh, on TikTok. I was like, ooh, I want to try. It looked interesting, just insofar of just making like a structural item with cardboard. But I don't know, they made like a whale, and I don't know what animal I would make. An owl, a turtle, and how would I make it so it would stand up and I don't have to worry about it falling down. I think pulling it at the same time does have some serious implications of making sure it stays together. If it were a turtle, I think it'd be like a table. I'd make a table out of cardboard. I have a very large amount excess cardboard because we can't throw cardboard down the trash chute here, and I have a shredder. So I was like, okay, I'll just shred it. Or also, you know, I'm in a gallery, maybe they'll need boxes one day. I'll just keep the boxes just in case someone wants to ship something, since I have been one of those people who've come into the gallery and been like, hey, I need a box, thanks. She did not. Now, the turtle shell would have like pockets. I don't think they have like a hexagonal pattern on their shell or anything, but like it's some amorphous shape that I would put on top, and it would be like, I don't know how you say this, like curved? A feat of wonder, I'm certain. But if it were an owl, it'd be standing up like a standing shelf that you buy at the store. It'd be kind of wild though to make a turtle, wouldn't it, being on Turtle Island at all? Oh, I'm tired of this already. But the pile grows smaller, which is both a good and a bad thing. This is probably enough for one flap, but it's also not enough for two. I don't know if I could crochet at the bottom, not that I'm really good enough to crochet at the bottom. I could put the ends back on to do a purl maybe, if that would help it flatten it out at the edge, but I don't know that it would. The next best bet is to attach the flap to each side periodically and let it hang to get, what am I doing? To get the curve of the edges out. Yes, well, I did the slip knit. The slip knit is rudimentary in terms of skill level, novice, if you will, and that is what I am. All I can do for crochet is chain stitch, and that's it. I use crochet to enhance or, I don't know, assist what I'm doing with loom knitting. Like I've crocheted or chain stitched an entire roll of yarn before, so I could use it as like a higher weight yarn and not go out and buy a higher weight yarn. This is a 4, my favorite yarn to work with, a worsted weight, medium weight yarn. I think I don't even, all of my acrylic yarn is worsted weight, but my wool is like heavy. Who knows? Oh, the sun is taking a turn. My good lighting, come back. It's because I've been doing this longer than I usually do. I really just want to start loom knitting tomorrow, so I will continue until I'm done. If I end up having to take apart the other piece to use it for parts, I guess I can show you how to make a paper swatch on live with yarn. My paper swatch is loom knit. It uses about 28 pegs, I think. I'll have to look at my notes. And it has holes so you can put it in a binder. And you don't even have to buy a pattern for it. Huzzah! Not that I even know how to write a pattern. I've always been confused by that. I feel like perhaps I just don't do things that are je ne sais quoi hard enough to warrant you really needing a pattern, because I pick a stitch and I stick to it. Yeah. I think maybe only thing that I've made that would require certain level of difficulty would be the graduation cap cover, because that actually does have multiple parts. And what's it called? You have to attach things. It's a little bit difficult. Oh, I think I did a how to make a luminant bead, which is, I mean, for me it's not all that substantial, but I think there's a way to improve it. I wanted to have some volume, and the ones that I made, they were kind of flat. I want to have more of a bead quality. And by multiple parts with the cap cover, that means two. Two parts, and then you attach them together and put it on. I think the hardest part is explaining how to attach it. And the colors that I used for that, surprise, surprise, were white. So if I make another one to show how to, I don't know what color I'd use. Because I don't know if I can get away with saying the majority of people graduate in the spring, but for people who are graduating in the spring, you don't want to wear a dark colored graduation cap cover because the cap itself is already black and it's already hot, and the cap is not going to make it cool by any shape of the imagination. So you want to use a light color for sure. Perhaps if you're having a winter graduation, you'd be happy to have a darker colored graduation cap cover. I don't know, I wouldn't say that I'm like great at typography or lettering with yarn, but I definitely think I've gotten better, so I can go around and start making people's graduation cap covers with the schools lettering. Or if you're like a student athlete and they have their own, like, you know, school derivative of a logo, those things. While making a graduation cap cover, probably wouldn't take as long as it took to make this thing, the happiness tapestry. It certainly is not, it's something you can do in one day, but my wrist would hurt after that one day. I'm messing up, not paying attention. Direction is obviously very important for this. I could probably invert this, but not right now. That requires too much brain power. I don't know. Maybe it wouldn't be that difficult if I only used one color. Because whenever I made the graduation cap cover, there was like 9 colors. Because Intarsia, and I wanted a pretty rainbow butterfly. Oh, the white big is such short supply. Really puts a nail in some of the plans I had. I want to do a black and white thing because I have a black and white design, but now it's gonna have to be regulated to other, what do you call them? High contrasting colors, so complementary colors. And the red that I'd want to use is also in Dire Straits, so all I've got left is orange and blue and purple and yellow, but the purple I have doesn't give, it doesn't. So it's really just orange and blue. And that's only assuming that I have enough left over after I finish using those colors for the large cross stitch that I've yet to reveal. I don't think I've shown it before on here on YouTube. It's under Yarn Chicken because it's like red that I was playing Yarn Chicken with. This same red, in fact. Oh, my laptop is finished charging. Let's unplug. Oh, okay. Oh! Okay, well, at least it didn't fall on the floor. I didn't yank on the laptop. Let's check on the tea. The tea is finally cold enough to go in the freezer. Asa. Chua. Cool. I am back. I knocked the camera a little bit. My tables are just big enough to hold up my tripod. And if I were to extend the legs one more time, they would not be on the table. But it would be too short for me to sit and work otherwise. And my back already hurts, TM. Cool. Oh, the pile dwindles. The sun is doing the thing again. I guess it's because it's past noon and it's very staunchly into afternoon. The ball is getting bigger. Not that much bigger, but bigger. I think I'm only gonna have like 10 rows that I could do before it's dwindled too far, because I'm not gonna stop in the middle of a row. That's just not gonna work. If there's not enough to do a flap, but there's enough to do a flap and a half, maybe I'll just do a stockinette stitch at the bottom of the comic to see if that'll help with the curling. Purl E-Rep, Purl E-Rep. Technically it's probably E-Rep Purl, but since I've E-Rep this entire thing, I'm going to start on Purl. I wonder how long I have to do this in order to commit this knot into, what do they call it? Muscle memory. Make sure you tug on it real good. Nothing will crumble you more than having something crumble while you're working on it. Moreover, I think I've luckily never had a drop stitch. I've definitely skipped a row. Certainly have skipped a row or two. But I've never had a drop stitch, and I'm quite happy for it. I think I'm getting down to the teens. 15 maybe. I'm so close to being done, and I want to go and eat a cookie. Oh. This thing does not want to stay. If it wouldn't be a waste of time, I might just put it on the yarn needle. Because the edges of these things are frayed. And they're always fighting for their life. At least, since the tea has cooled down significantly and I've put it in the freezer now, once I'm done, I can put some ice cubes in there, add my milk, and have my milk tea. No boba. I only have one ice tray and one pot, so making boba and freezing it to make per cup is just not feasible. Ooh. I feel like I've seen the magic knot on those sci-fi TV shows, and they're like used for underground orders and whatnot. At least then before they're tightened, that is. I have made boba from scratch though, once or twice, and I've used fruit juice in fruit instead of like water and like the brown sugar glaze that you would do usually for boba. I don't know if I could say traditionally. Conventionally, I think is probably better. Tradition seems kind of, I don't know how old boba is. What do I know? And by fruit juice, I mean like I've taken the literal like juice I've got from the store. I wouldn't say like something adjacent to the Naked brand, but not exactly. Like, because I got that, I'm fairly certain I got that juice from H Mart, but I can't remember. And I've done it where I've taken like, I think perhaps it was mango. Like, I don't know. I feel like I've boiled a fruit and then used the water from me boiling that fruit, added sugar, and used it to make boba, but I can't remember. I vaguely remember putting actual fruit chunks into boba too, because I experimented. The thing with boba though is like, it's like wonton feeling. Like, if you don't follow the recipe and you end up making too much, you're gonna have more boba to deal with than you're prepared for. Like, whenever I made wontons a few months ago, I had some left over, and it wasn't like an egregious amount. And I think it's like, you can kind of expect to have leftovers always, but it was still more than enough to end up making meatballs with, so I think it was a little too much. I think I used like a pound of turkey because they didn't have ground pork at the store. So maybe if I used half a pound instead, it would have been a little bit more exact. Real question. Should I do drawing lives next, or do you want to see my cross stitch project? Because I'm down for either. I have a project, that I have neglected for months because I decided that I was gonna, I don't know if I'd say journal, not like a diary, but like I was gonna draw things that happened on the day that it happened, starting on the spring equinox, and I have since far only drawn like April and maybe a little bit of May, and that's it. And I even have some of those videos up on my page, but they kind of fell off. I just know that my fingers are getting all in the way, but I need to save yarn. Because not only just like it'd be wasteful, but also I need as much length on this as possible. Because I'm already at the bloody wire, otherwise I would not be doing this. I could do a poll on my page, but my posts get even less views than my videos do, so. And by that I mean like literal 0. Oh yo. And it, well, I won't say the plot thickens, but It's getting down. I think I'm in the 10s now. 12, 13, 12, 11 maybe. It's hard to tell. But the pile is much smaller, thank goodness. I feel like I'm starting to get rope burn. Any books you guys are reading right now? I'm on the second book of, I don't know the series name, but the book I'm reading is Harrow the Ninth. I'm like a third of the way into it. It is fairly good, but I'm literally only reading by sunlight, and I like procrastinate and watch a bunch of TikToks back to back, so I haven't really been getting through it, and it's due in a few weeks, and I've already renewed it once, so I'd feel really bad renewing it again, and I'm not even sure if we're allowed to renew it more than once. I'm not sure. Part of the reason why I'm reading Harrow the Ninth is because I want to listen to the audiobook for the third book. At my library, for some reason, they have like non-consecutive issues of books on Hoopla. So it's like, oh yeah, you can read the first book on Hoopla, and it'll be an audiobook, and then they won't have the audiobook for the second, and you have to either get an ebook or get the physical copy, and then they have the third book as an audiobook on Hoopla, and you're like, why would you do this to me? How petty. It's such an L to go from reading an audiobook to reading the physical book, because you no longer have the ability to know how things are pronounced. Apparently audiobooks, ebooks, and ebooks I should say, are very expensive. I will say that with the way that the Harrow the Ninth is like written, I can imagine it'd be kind of hard to narrate, because it's like second person and then sometimes not second person, and it just kind of goes back and forth. The ball. If I weren't talking so much to fill the silence, I would probably be listening to an audiobook right now. I'm listening to, what is it? It's like this Druid series by Auburn Tempest and some other dude. And it's about this girl who's a redhead. I don't know if this is like important information, but it's all over the front covers of the book, so that'll help you know. And I think she has blue eyes. I don't think she's a green-eyed person. think her family may have green eyes. Either way. And she discovers that she's a druid, and like gets bamboozled to go to Ireland, and it's all over from there. What's it called? I'm on like book 10. There's 15 in the series. It's giving Warrior Cats with how prolific of a writer this duo is. Not gonna lie. And the only reason why I'm reading this is because I wanted to read Incendio, but Incendio is in that universe, and it is, I mean, it's not necessary. Like, the author didn't say that it was necessary to read those other books, but they're like, if you want to understand the universe you're in, and I was like, of course I want to understand the universe I'm in. So I was like, damn. And the thing is, I was like, okay, yeah, I'll go and read the other books before, because there's like a 19, well, there's 21 days you can check something out on Hoopla, usually, for a book. And so I was like, okay, cool. And then I saw there was 15 books. I was like, oh my god, there's no way I'm going to get through all of this before Incendio needs to be returned. And there's no point in, like, borrowing it again whenever there's still a good opportunity for me not to get through 15 books in 40 days even. So I was like, okay, well, this is my fate now. I will also say, I think you only get like around 10. It's like a little bit more than 10 book borrows in a month. I don't know exactly the number. I think it could be like up to 14, definitely less than 20 book borrows you get per month. So it's like, even if I got all the books at once and I did like something crazy and I just listened to them back to back to back for an entire week to get them done, I wouldn't even have enough borrows left to read the Incendio books, because I think Incendio is also a series of books. It's not just like a one and done. Oh, Kochiki. Oh, I'm below the tens, finally. Let's see. E, R, sun, so. There's 4. And one of these is actually kind of small. It's small, but I'll keep it. Thank goodness. Once I'm done with this, I'll show what the final ball came out to look like, and I'll end the live. It's a respectable little ball. Definitely enough for one flap. The jury's still out on the second one. Bloody. Chill. And finally, I can have my cookie break and drink me tea. I think the convenient thing about doing this is that you get rid of the frayed edges much sooner. With cross stitching, however, I would just weave it underneath and that'd be the end of it. Last string. And the sun would go down. How petty. You're casting me in shadow. I only use natural light because, I don't know, I remember in photography class, my photo teacher talking about clashing lights, making like a, I don't know, being hard to edit for and interfering with the quality of an image and all that jazz. We did video, but very sparsely. Last string. Chihuahua. And this is the ball. It is literally hand-sized. Palm-sized. My palm-sized. I should admit that my palms are quite large. But that's all for the live today. Thanks for watching. Oh, let's see. I'm going to take this down again.